What's up guys, Samuel Leeds here, and you may have watched last year, 12 months ago, I did a video, and I've never known anyone do a video like this. It was one of my most popular YouTube videos where I revealed my 2018 property investing business plan. And I told everybody exactly what, where, when, how much I was going to be buying my own properties for in my own personal portfolio. So I thought it'd be really cool to do a part 2 to that video. And on this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did buy over 2018. And potentially, if you guys want it, I can even do another video where I'm going to talk about exactly what I'm going to buy in 2019. I am going to buy 10 houses in total. 2 of those houses are going to be lease option agreements that I'll be keeping for myself. So I told you that I was going to buy 2 lease option agreement deals, no money down, which I did. I achieved that. I didn't achieve everything on the video. I did get 2 lease option agreements. I've got many more in the bag, many more pending. I also did find other deals with my students that they bought, but I personally got 2 lease option agreement deals. So the first one was no money down, and it was in Bradford, and the guy was so motivated to sell. He had no equity in the property at all, and I said that I would buy it off him for, I think it was £85,000 in 5 years. It's currently worth about 77, and I'm renting out for £450. I'm paying him £150 or there and thereabouts. So I'm making a little bit of cash flow each month. I've got the option to buy it in the next 5 years for 85. So I'm reasonably happy with that, but it's not the most exciting deal in the world. The second one I bought, which was a lease option agreement, was a little bit more interesting, and that was in Lichfield, which is in the Midlands, a very nice city in the Midlands. It's a HMO. So this was a guy who he split up from his wife, and his wife and him had a big property portfolio together, more led by her, and then when they split up, they split the properties up, and he didn't really want to deal with them, and he was like, oh, I don't want these houses. So I bought one of his HMOs in Lichfield off him, 5-bed HMO. It was all rented out for £2,500 a month, so reasonably decent rents. It was a fine HMO, but one of the tenants was very, very bad, was smoking weed, and he was like, ah! So I just said to him, look, how much do you want to, he wanted to sell the property. I said, how much do you want to sell it for? He said, I want to sell it for £350,000. So I said to him, either I'll give you the money now, the payment, how much I give you will be on my terms. So I'll give you £275,000 now. And he was like, oh no, that's really low. I said, or I'll give you what you want, the full asking price, but I'll pay you on my terms, which is I'll give you £500 a month, which will contribute towards the purchase price. And then in 3 years' time, I'll give you the £350,000 minus the £500 that I've been paying you. And he was like, all right. So we did a deal. So I'm now paying him £500 a month, but that's going towards the purchase price. I sorted out the tenant situation. I'm renting out for £2,500 a month. I'm making really good profit on that every single month. And I put down like nothing, like £750 for the solicitor fees. So I was really, really happy with that deal. So those were my 2 juicy lease option agreements in 2018. 2 of my properties are going to be straightforward, buy low, rent high HMOs. Properties 3 and 4. I said I was going to buy 2 HMOs, and I said I was going to buy them in Middlesbrough. So how did that go? Well, not amazingly well. This didn't quite go to plan. I bought 1 HMO in Middlesbrough, and it was just off Crescent Road. So I'll tell you exactly where it was. Just off Crescent Road, 10-minute walk from the city centre, and I bought it really cheap. I bought it for £52,000, and I just thought, let's see what happens. Bought it for 52. If I can rent those 4 rooms, it had 3 bedrooms, 2 reception rooms. I spent about £5,000 on a light refurb. How did that go? Okay. Rented out 3 of the rooms for £325. The 4th room just stuck. I know other people as well that were invested in that area, and some people really like it. Some people think it's a bit saturated. If I was going to invest in Middlesbrough again, I think I'd go just that little bit closer to the centre. HMOs in some of the northern areas, the returns on investment is just incredible, but there have been a lot of people, probably since I revealed my business plan and wrote my book, Buy Low, Rent High, there's a lot of southern investors buying HMOs in some of the cheaper northern cities. The area I was in, probably slightly saturated, so I decided not to buy my second HMO in Middlesbrough as planned. I went and bought 2 more HMOs, and I bought them in the Midlands, in Walsall. Although in Walsall I paid more for them, I paid more like £150, the return on investment, because they're always full and the rents are a little bit higher, the return on investment is actually probably about the same, if not better. So they were my 3 HMO properties, 1 in Middlesbrough, 2 in Warsaw. They're giving me around about 20 to 25% return on investment. I'm not going to be refinancing them. I'm just going to leave my money in, and I'm reasonably happy with those. What can I say? I do love Middlesbrough. My plan is to buy a cheap HMO property. It won't be a current HMO, it will just be a big derelict property, and to come and buy it for cash. I will then spend 6 months doing it up, renovating it into a nice big professional house of multiple occupancy. After 6 months, I will then refinance the property, and I will pull out all of the money that I put in and potentially even some of the refurb costs as well. Meaning it will be left with a very little money down deal, and of course I'll be then generating a high rental income from it as well. So the 6th property that I bought, this was the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy. A strategy that I'm very excited about at the moment. When I first started out in property, it was a case of I used to buy them below market value and then I would refinance them the same day. They changed the rules back in about 2008, 2009 and said you have to wait 6 months to refinance properties, and everyone was like, oh, the days of property investing are over, and the credit crunch came and everything, which I thought was a new cereal. About 6 months ago now, they changed the rules again, and Kent Reliance said that you can refinance now straight away. So they abolished the 6-month rule. So I thought, well, hey, let's really get back into this strategy. So bought a property, this was in Stafford, a big house. It was very run down. I bought it for 152,000, I think it was, or maybe 152,500. Did a big refurb on it and then turned it into a commercial HMO. The valuation that came back, it was very messy. It was a little bit harder than normal, but I did manage to pull out most of my money and just left in about £15,000. So considering I just left £15,000 in it is not bad, considering I'm making £1,000 per month profit from the deal. So the return on investment in that is like 90% return on investment, and that was using the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy, which I'm overall very pleased with. Title splitting. This is pretty fun. They call this slice and dice. And it's where you buy a big property, maybe an old house, and you convert it into 2 apartments, a minimum of 2 apartments, and you split the title and then sell each apartment, leaving you with a nice profit. Property number 7, and this was title splitting. Again, this is something that I'm very excited about. I've got multiple properties like this going through at the moment, but the one that was successful was just a property that I bought, reasonably big house. I split it into 4 apartments and got planning permission granted, which was really fantastic. If you're going to buy a property and you're relying on having to get planning permission, my advice would be buy it subject to planning permission. So that's what I did, which worked really well. So yeah, we turned it into 4 apartments. The value's gone right up. I could probably refinance it, but I'm not gonna, because I'm renting the apartments out for a very, very healthy amount. My return on investment on that is around about 32%. Again, that was in the Midlands. I'm investing quite a lot in the Midlands this year. Really happy with that. Definitely gonna be doing a lot more title splitting. It's quite satisfying turning a property into multiple units, and you're also providing more accommodation to the country, which I think is a really good thing too. Seaside apartments. So I'm gonna be buying a seaside apartment, hopefully for around about £85,000, renting it out for £750. And it is gonna be in Weston-super-Mare. Property 8, you've probably seen on the video, my prediction was, I said that there was a lot of apartments in Seatown areas, and there was a lot of regeneration going into certain Seatown areas, which was shooting the prices right up. And I told you, and I explained why in the video a year ago, that I was going to be buying an apartment in Weston-super-Mare, which I did. And people didn't believe me, but I did do a video. If you want to watch the video, you can maybe just search Samuel Leeds Weston-super-Mare. I managed to buy a property in Weston-super-Mare, sea view property, and I paid £117,000 for it. Really got in with the agent, and I'm getting a lot of properties now sent to me off market, sea view, for around about 117. It's a little bit more than I hoped to pay. I did say that I wanted to pay £100,000 max, but I am renting it out for £700 a month. So buying a house for 117,000, renting out for £700 a month, return on investment's pretty good, and I've got a very, very good feeling about the capital appreciation in Weston-super-Mare as well. So fingers crossed, that'll be a very, very worthwhile investment. So my strategy is going to be next year, and I have done this before, but I'm going to be doing it again this coming year, is going to be to buy a property very, very cheap, maybe around about £60,000 HMO, to renovate it cheaply, perhaps spending £10,000 plus furniture, and then to sell it as an up and running HMO to a wealthy, busy investor, and I want to make a profit, a gross profit of a minimum of £30,000 doing that. Property number 9. So my prediction was, I told you I was going to buy a property and I was going to turn it into a HMO, and then I was going to sell it. And I was going to sell it maybe on a London auction to someone that was purely looking at it as a business. Anyway, I didn't end up doing that. I think I didn't do it because I just got so carried away with some of the other projects going on. That didn't happen. Is that a good strategy? Possibly, but I didn't do that. Sorry. Auction property. Auction property is something that everybody thinks is a great thing to do, and lots of people attempt. However, if you don't know what you're doing, you can fail miserably. Property number 10 was auction properties. Did I buy any auction properties? Yes, I bought a freaking castle from auction. I bought that place for £800,000. And we are investing literally 7 figures into restoring it to its former glory. That actually, we got planning permission already for 12 apartments and 3 barns. So that's 15 houses in one. And that is just ridiculously exciting. Will it be profitable? Yes, it will. But it's more than anything, it's just very satisfying seeing a castle restored. And we've also had a lot of publicity from that. We've got the Free French soldiers used to train there. Charles de Gaulle used to visit the property, who was the French leader. Winston Churchill's been there. Now it's really beautiful because we've actually become friends with the Free French. And we're talking about doing like a big get together there where we're inviting the French over, and there's just some really classy, beautiful things going on with that building. And I'm really, really honored to be able to buy it and restore it. If you want to see more about the castle video, just Google Samuel Leeds' castle and you'll have a ton of stuff on YouTube about that. And that's definitely the project that I'm most proud of in 2018. And I never expected it. It just kind of came out the blue. And believe it or not, it was a no money down deal. So if people say you can't buy houses with no money, I bought a frigging castle with no money. Yes, you can. Property number 25 and 26 was 2 Birmingham apartments, which we bought right in the smack bang in the city centre of Birmingham, and we bought them and we're going to rent them out as serviced accommodation. We paid $120 for one of them, which was 2 bedrooms, small, and we paid £136,000 for the other one, which is really lush. And they're going to rent out as a single let. You'd probably rent them out for about £750 to £850. Serviced accommodation, you rent them out for absolutely stupid money. They are renting out so well, they're going so well that I then thought, man, apartments, serviced accommodation apartments are beautifully juicy. How can I be really smart and buy more without buying them, but benefit from the cash flow? So I ended up doing some rent to serviced accommodation properties. I did a couple in Sheffield, in Oxford, joint ventured on some deals as well like that. So rent to serviced accommodation is a really good strategy that I'm excited about. To forget the rent to serviced accommodation deals, just on the Birmingham apartments, that brings us to 27 houses this year, plus some other joint ventures and rent to service accommodation. So I think this year on 27 properties, I think that's a big achievement. I've also been doing a lot of training as well. Our property training company has just blown up. I think we're probably one of the biggest, certainly the fastest growing property investment training companies in the UK, which is really exciting as well. So really proud of that. Team's growing, company's growing. 2018 has been a frigging fantastic year for me, both in terms of family, business, and everything. So you know what? I really do think that it's okay to speak it out. People are scared to speak out what they're gonna do in case other people copy them. I'm happy to do that because when you speak it out, what happens is you speak it into existence and then it happens. People say, oh, believe it when I see it. But actually it's the other way around. Actually, you have to believe it first and then you see it. So a couple of things I'd like to say as I end this. Number one, I'd love to know what your property investment business plan is going to be over the next 12 months in 2019. So comment below which strategies you're most interested in. Rent to serviced accommodation, buying apartments, title splitting, HMOs, single lets, buy to lets, refurbs, development. What are you wanting to do? Number two, If you want to see my property investment business plan for 2019, it is juicy, believe me. We've got a lot of big projects going on. We're negotiating some land deals, some really big development stuff. It's juicy. If you want to know all the stats and all the information, exactly what I'm planning on buying, I'm happy to share, but I have to have enough people hitting like on this video. So if this video gets 100 likes, I will then do a 2019 business plan as well. God bless you. Smash that like button. I'll see you next time.